So let's talk about perception and why this is so significant in developing who we are as people and how we see our realities. Because if you really think about it, our lives are basically just the stories that we tell ourselves. From a young child, we take in all of this information. We are taking in all of these different experiences. And no matter who you are, your perspective from the second you come into this world is different from everyone else. And that is including the people that you are in your family. Everyone perceives the world differently and the realities differently. So with an example from my childhood, I assumed that I wasn't good enough. And this was perceived by the experience of not being good at school, being terrible at math, having my dad help me with math and him getting frustrated and short. And in those moments, I told myself that I wasn't good enough. I was the one that interpreted that, in order to receive love, I had to be successful. I had to be good at things. And in comparison to my sister, who excelled at so many sports and excelled at so many subjects at school, that for a very long time, I told myself a story that I wasn't good enough to receive my family's attention. I wasn't good enough because I wasn't good at math. And I really made myself small. I didn't like sharing my opinions. I didn't like standing out. I had a constant anxiety because I was so disconnected from who I really was. And this went on for years and years and years. And this transcended over relationships and, attracting these people that I constantly was grasping for attention. But in going through these experiences, again, I don't have any regrets for it, but finally coming to the realization that I was the one that made these stories, that I was the one that could change them, was so incredibly empowering. Because again, as I said, everything that we say to ourselves and interpret in our lives is directly coming from internally, from our own perceptions, from our own assumptions. And we never, ever question them. As a young child, we never thought to think, okay, well, I must be stupid. There's no other way. There's no other option in this situation. But there is. And I think if we start teaching ourselves and start teaching our children that there always is something else, there always is an opportunity to change how you talk about yourself, how you change what you believe about yourself. Because if you're constantly telling yourself a certain story, that reality is going to project and project and project. And we see this time and time again in relationships and different life situations. But knowing that you have control and the power to change your story should be empowering to you. And even if you have to physically write down a new one, I encourage you to do it. Look at the things in your life that you've done. Look at the amazing experiences that you have. And really start to question, is this belief really a truth? Because we've been brought up not to question it. We've been brought up not to really question anything. And this could go beyond how, you develop your own self-identity and your own reality, because if we really think about it, there are many stories that the entire world tells each other that we believe, that we just assume are true. But you have the power to be curious. You have the power to ask questions. You have the power to change how you perceive different things. You know, if something shows up in your life, you have the audacity to look at that and be like, is this a reflection of myself and how I want to experience reality? So as I close out this video, I want you to take a moment to really think about the different beliefs that you have about yourself, about life, about the people around you, because so many times our perceptions of ourselves and of other people are wrong. And we assume something completely different, but then are open to a new reality and realize that that may be more true than what you previously thought. So be curious about the world, be curious about yourself, be curious about why you think the way that you do and how you see the world. Because if you realize that you have different viewpoints to others, you'll start appreciating the different viewpoints in other people. Let's say your relationships, in your friends, your family, people in different cultures and religions. Perception can be an amazing tool, but it also can be detrimental to yourself, your psyche, and the world. So always question, be compassionate toward yourself, and know that you have a choice. You have a choice to think and feel and believe something else if you really want to. So I hope that this video helps you if you're feeling a little bit stuck. I know that my perceptions of who I was, and I say was because I'm a new woman now, but have really put a dent in my identity. But your identity can change at any moment, at any second. You just have to choose to change it. See you in the next video.